This is Contractor Sense with Ruth King.
Welcome to Contractor Sense. Here you discover ideas, tactics, news, and information that matters to your contracting business and you. I'm your host, Ruth King. This episode is sponsored by Profitability Movement. Google Profitability-Movement to join this community of business owners focused on building profit, increasing wealth, and giving back. Thank you for joining us. Here is how we will help your business and you today. What if you had an automatic follow-up sequence to close jobs and do referral marketing? One of my clients has increased their closing rate by more than 50% doing this automatically. How? My guest, Kirk King, the creator of Contractor Halo, will tell you how he did it for one of my clients and other contractors. And no, we're not related. We just share a last name. Kirk, welcome to Contractor Sense.
Thanks, Ruth. Glad to be here.
Oh, my pleasure. It's, it was funny because Kirk and I knew each other many years ago. And then I get this email from him and we started talking again. And I knew that one of my clients was using Contractor Halo and having really, really great results with it. And they're picky and they were happy. So it's time to talk about it.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're so happy to have Rich. He's a great customer.
Yeah. And he's also, they're very direct, they're very picky. And if it didn't work, guess what? You wouldn't be working with them.
Yeah. And we've been working with them for years. Multiple years, 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. And they've tried others before you. I don't know whether you knew that or not, but they did. All right. So let's talk about, how did you get this? Let's explain what Contractor Halo is all about, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Awesome. So we'll go way back a little bit. I bought this company in 2010, and it was a marketing company. And they were really good at multi-year marketing campaigns. And when I bought the company, I had this great vision that I was going to take what they were doing already, and I was going to, do these multi-year programs for other industries. And I tried that for a few years, and it just wasn't as sticky. So we've got this. We've been helping contractors since I think early 1980s, specifically heating and cooling contractors, but all kinds of contractors. We've got painters and roofers. We got a company that does closets, high-end closets. But when I started diving in, when I started diving in to why these customers had been with us for 20 years, is because they're like, well, it's not complicated. It just works, right? It consistently goes out. All the automated marketing goes out. We don't have to worry about it. You guys take care of it all. You guys, we hear the term set it and forget it a lot, right? We hear that from our users and from our customers. It's so easy to work with you guys because we provide the data to you so you can enact the automated marketing, and then everything just happens automatically, and our business grows and we get more referral business. And at the end of the day, I've interviewed over 100 contractors, and they all say the same thing. I love service business, or I love this, or I love that. But really what I need is more installs and more maintenance agreements. That's pretty much what they all come down to saying. So when we really dug in, we started saying, look, you know what? Let's build a system that does exactly that. Generates more equipment sales, help them sell more boxes, and help them generate more inquiries and more maintenance agreement customers. And I said, you know what? It's great if we generate leads for plumbing or whatever else, but let's just focus all of the marketing on equipment sales and maintenance agreements. That's just what we wanted to focus on. And it wasn't as easy as you might think, because there's a lot of things that happen in the selling cycle where the ball kind of gets dropped, right? So, contractors are paying for either a website or SEO, and some of them are doing pay-per-click, and the leads come in, and then sometimes they don't even speak to that person. Sometimes the comfort advisor or whoever sells the equipment at that company sometimes they have an appointment, but then the customer doesn't show up or the appointment doesn't sit, right? And sometimes they provide an awesome proposal with multiple options and they're super excited, but they don't sign that day. And then, the person who provided that proposal, they get busy, right? They get other service calls and they're going to other houses and they're doing other quotes. So anyway, to make a long story short, it was even hard for us. And we've been doing this we've been in business now 50 years. It was hard for us to keep all the data organized. Does that make sense, Ruth?
Yep, absolutely. You just need AI. They'll take care of it for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's definitely going to be some changes in AI in the near future, for sure. But what we ultimately came to the decision of is, we could do automated marketing to prospects. We could do automated marketing to people who had a service call and never called again. And we could do automated marketing to those people who bought equipment and were super happy, and they're going to buy more stuff from that contractor and they're going to give more referrals. And we could build all these marketing campaigns, but it was hard to keep it organized. So that's why we built Contractor Halo. So Contractor Halo is the second revision of the software. The first revision was called My Customer Dashboard. And so we got this software, we built this software around these three different marketing needs. And in the software, it helps us because we're able to say, look, these people called, but they never even had a service call. They never even met with anybody. And in some cases, they didn't even talk to them on the phone, right? That's like one bucket, right? And then there's another bucket of okay, they've done business somehow with that contractor. They bought a furnace or they had a $50 tune-up, or something. They've bought something from that contractor.
Bite your tongue at $50 tune-up.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying sometimes they do those specials. But then now they're a customer, in my opinion, right? They bought from them one time. And if they don't keep in touch with those people, only about 20-25% will come back. So it's okay, well, we can triple that. We can triple the repeat business, but we can also help them sell more equipment. And then at the end of the day, when we all win and they sell $5,000, $10,000 systems, let's put them in a very unique program, something that's very personalized and specialized because they are the highest value customer that year and they bought a big unit, a big system, right? So by putting all this data into these three buckets, we just do all the automated marketing and all of the stuff is all in the software and it's easy to see what's going on and how it's all working. And then they get executive reports every month. So they know, hey, this is how many leads went out, came in the system, how many emails went out or messages went out or print mail went out or whatever went out. And then what happened. And we don't just track how many leads we generate, which is good, by the way, I think that's good. But we track how many leads we generated, and then we track how many leads converted. And then we actually put a dollar amount. So whatever that service call or equipment sale was, we put that right in the executive reports so that no contractor has to wonder, am I getting an ROI from using Contractor Halo?
Got it.
It just kind of brings it all back to fruition.
Very good. All right. Before we go to break and talk about some more of Contractor Halo, if somebody is interested in that and finding out more about it, where do they go?
Very simple. You just go to www.contractorhalo.com and then you can just fill out a little lead form and I'll be in touch with you and kind of show you the system. And if you're interested, move forward. If not, it's okay. Glad to just talk to you.
Sounds great. Thanks, Kirk. We'll be right back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense.
Many times, relatives are recruited to do your company's books without knowing how to do the books. Or you hire a bookkeeper who really doesn't know bookkeeping. If this is you, then your books are probably inaccurate. You probably pay more taxes than you should, and you rarely look at a P&L and balance sheet because you know they are wrong. What do? Have your bookkeeper enroll in Ruth King's Contractor Bookkeeping Basics. After completing this online course, your bookkeeper will know bookkeeping. You'll get accurate financial statements that help you make good business financial decisions. To enroll, click on the link in the show notes or call us at 770-729-0258. Enroll today.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense. I've been speaking with Kirk King, no relation to me, about Contractor Halo and some of the things that he's been doing with it that actually, in my case, has been working really, really well for one of my clients. So, all right, let's assume somebody's interested in Contractor Halo. You said that you can tell them how much revenue. So do you get into their software, into their financial accounting or bookkeeping?
No, we just pull the data. Yeah, so we get the data out of their dispatch system, and that's in the various different ways. But we get the data out of the system, and we just put that data in Contractor Halo, and we split it into the different buckets, and then all the automated marketing goes out. So they don't have to worry about like the design or the messaging or the timing or the intervals or anything. It just runs automatically like a self-driving car.
Got it. So if somebody's on QuickBooks or somebody's on Xero or somebody's on some other accounting system, you can do it.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Cool. All right. Let's assume that person X or one of the listeners here says, yeah, I want to do it. They go through the demo. They see the demo. They like what they see. They raise their hand and said, yep, I'm into it. What's the startup process and how long does it take?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, again, once kind of just understand the system a little bit, they say they're in for, they're ready to give it a try. We just do some paperwork, and then it takes us about 2 weeks to set up their account. So we have to actually set it up, their location, their branch, their logos, license numbers, all that stuff. We have to actually set that up. So it takes about 2 weeks. And then once the system's set up, then we got to get a hold of the data. So we get the data in our system, and we do a lot of the data cleanup. So contractors have gotten a lot better in the last 20 years, but there's still a lot of cleanup that has to happen in the data to make sure that it's organized, that it's in the right format, that we identify if they've never bought anything from that contractor, or if they bought from them one time, or if their equipment is old, right? And they're likely to need a new system in the near future. So there's a lot of data cleanup that we have to do. So call that another 2 weeks. So 2 weeks to set up the account, a couple weeks to get all the data cleaned up and get it organized inside the system. It takes about 45 minutes to train somebody on how to use Contractor Halo. And that's just crazy in itself because there's so many software packages you never learn how to use. But the reason it only takes 45 minutes is because it all runs automatically. So it's like, okay, you don't have to learn what all this stuff is doing. Just know that when this happens and you get a lead, that's when you have to act. You've got to call them. You've got to schedule the appointment, set the appointment, set the appointment, set the appointment. I'm sure you've said that once or twice too, Ruth.
Nah.
But yeah, that's the simple side of it. And then it just runs. Like we do all the design, copy, creative, email templates, print mail templates, whatever it is. We do it all for the contractor. So they don't have to have a full-time employee managing this. And it just runs.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really interesting because if you look at a lot of what's going on, not only with what you're doing, but there's so much outsourcing being done now than has been done in the past. And this is another really great example of outsourcing that actually works, that allows the contractors to focus on what they do best. And most of them, quite frankly, are not real good at marketing and not real good at books. So, but they get better at it. And the more that they work and the more that they see, the more that they can really appreciate what you're doing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I think in business, it comes down to like two things. It comes down to people, right? You got to have a good relationship with who you're going to work with. And then it also has to do with money, right? So you can imagine if somebody invested maybe, let's say $500 a month with us, and they get $50,000, they're going to be pretty happy, right? I mean, it's kind of
No brainer.
no brainer, right? I mean, it's simple.
Yeah.
And marketing's got so complicated, right? Even if you have a person in your company that's doing marketing, what are they trying to do? Manage pay-per-click. They're trying to update the website. They're trying to post stuff on social media. They're trying to do all these other things. And when they get time, they might send out an email marketing piece or something. But there's no way they could do it like we can do it, because we've got 50 years experience and 10 servers and Amazon Web Services and all this programming that makes it all happen automatically. So they can't even do it as well or at a fraction of what we can do it for them.
Sure. Absolutely. Give us the website one more time.
Yeah, it's just contractorhalo.com. Halo is spelled Halo, just like it sounds. And yeah, it's real simple. We're easy to work with and love to onboard new customers because we track the results. So we know we're doing a great job. I mean,
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah,
You track the results.
Yeah, one customer, one of our customers, I won't use the one that we mentioned earlier, but one of our contractors invested about 20 grand last year, $20,000 in all of the email and the software and the print mail and all that stuff. Okay.
Yep.
They got 1,332,764 cents in additional sales.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but it's not that we're doing anything super magical, Ruth. We're just consistently doing it.
Yeah, the consistency is what gets it more so than anything else. And contractors don't have time to be consistent when it's hot or when it's cold or when it's busy. They think about it in the slower times, unfortunately, and they need to do it year round. So, well, Kurt, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's always a pleasure, Ruth. I still remember meeting you. I think it was in 2014. It was like at a Comfort Tech, and you and I were both speaking.
We'll go back too far. So anyway, contractorhalo.com, if you're interested in taking a look at what Kirk is doing. I can tell you from my perspective with one of my clients that it definitely does work. So thank you for joining us. Choose one thing that you discovered and implement it in your business. These ideas, tactics, and strategies help you make more money, have more free time, and give back. If you like today's program, spread the word. Please review this podcast on any device you're listening to it on. Help a fellow contractor make more money too. For comments or questions, call me at 770-729-0258 or email Ruth King at hvacchannel.tv. Thanks for listening. Have a great and profitable day.